So it's been a long time since Melee has been out, and it was never re-released, okay? I think the reasons for that, and I'm about to break them down right now, alright? Now, people used to say F Nintendo, you know, when Nintendo, what Sega does, Nintendo don't. The console wars were serious, and I believe Sakurai had a vengeance, and all of Nintendo had a vengeance, because Melee was vengeance towards Sega. I'm gonna break it down. Sega versus Nintendo is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Okay? I'm just gonna break that down. No one really knows that. No one said it. No one's brought it up. No one's broken down the reasons why Melee is tucked under the rug. Why now they don't want to be competitive because the game was competitive, right? The game is competitive, right? We know Melee is a very competitive game, but the development of Melee was competitive, and I think they had to write that off. That's why the next game will reveal what happened, okay? We'll reveal what happened the next game after Melee. And we all know what happened after Melee, but let's break it down. So we're going to go into training mode. Right? Favorite level, basic. Boom. All right. Now look at what you're looking at, right? You see Fox, you see Falco, the two main characters of the game, right? These are the two main characters of the game. Why? Because they're the best. Fox is the best character in the game, and that wasn't by accident. That was by design. They designed Fox to be the best character in the game. They designed the game to demolish every game. Now, Melee demolished every fighting game in the scene. Melee took part in Street Fighter, Tekken, and they want to shred everybody. It's Marvel versus Capcom. Okay, it's Dragon Ball Z. But what you don't know it also was that it was Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. They want to smoke Sega, and they want to smoke Sonic the Hedgehog. Let me explain why. This is some next level stuff. Next level. No one's spoken about this. Now let's break it down. Who is this guy? Who is this? Right? So let's zoom in and let's analyze. Too close. Slink. All right. Here's Fox. Of course, with the Spider-Me's, swag. We got to get the Spider-Me swag on the kid. The kid looking nice, baby. You know what I mean? Anyways. So with the Spider-Me swag, we got Fox here. Now, Fox and Falco, right, are the two spaces of the game. What does this look like to you? Now, when I say Sonic the Hedgehog, what do you think about when you look at this image? Think about it. Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? Look at Falco and look at Fox. Now, Falco was debuted in Melee. And what did they do to Falco compared to Fox? Right? Now, who is Fox? Fox is a pilot. Fox flies in the air. Fox is not... Is Fox a fighter? Why is Fox, out of all characters in the game, the best in the game as a pilot for Star Fox? Compared to, Mario, who literally goes hand-to-hand combat. And other characters. They go like Pikachu, go hand-to-hand combat. Mewtwo. Let's talk about Mewtwo. Hand-to-hand combat. Mewtwo is a beast. But not in Melee. So let's look at Fox. Let's look at Falco. Now, do you see any resemblance to Sonic the Hedgehog in Tails? You see the height? See the height differences? Fox is short. See his waggy tail? Right? He can easily have two tails. Right? Look at Falco. Look at his hair. Look at his spikes. Look at the spikes on him. You see that? See how he's bouncing around? He's ready to run. Falco is way more jumpy than Fox. You see? He's ready to pounce. He's ready to run. Look at him. He wipes his nose. That's Sonic. That's what Sonic does. Sonic wipes his nose and runs fast. Look at Falco compared to Fox. Fox is looking at him like he's Tails. Hey, when are we going? Right? This is more what you would notice, right? This is more what it looks like, right? right? This is more Sonic and Tails right here. We're just getting started, people. We're just getting started. Look at that. Look at that right now. You see how Falco's ready? Like, this makes more sense. Falco's ready to run, and Fox is waiting behind him. But surprise, 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 that's not the case. Now, they want to smoke Sega. They want to smoke Capcom. They want to smoke Namco. Melee smoked all those games in terms of gameplay. That's why the game never disappeared. That's why the game never went away. Because the game was good. And it was, Fox was overpowered. Why did they do that? They didn't think it would be so competitive. But oh my goodness, they destroyed their own game by what they did. Now look at the moveset. Right? They put Chun-Li in there right there. So this is Chun-Li right here. Right? Chun-Li. That's Chun-Li. Okay? That's from Chun-Li. Now look at the speed of Fox. Does that... Look at Fox run. Does that resemble anybody? Right? We'll get to Falco next. Look at Fox. He runs exactly like Sonic in 3D. Right? We're talking Dreamcast right here. Right? That's Fox. Now look at all his movesets. Backflip, split, Fox, Sonic can dance. Right? Solid kick. These are creative. We like a move like that. Oh, but what is that? Where did this come from? What is this? Okay? I thought it was Dragon Ball Z for the longest. But when I came to really realize, they copied Sonic. They made Fox Sonic in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Let me repeat. They made Fox Sonic in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Which was the worst decision they could have made, considering it was going to be a super competitive game. And so competitively, they made Sonic Falco, and they made Tails Fox. And to ridicule Sonic, they made Fox 10 times better than Sonic, aka Falco. Let's zoom out. What is this? Speed dash? Who does this? Who does this? In blue? Why is it blue? Who does this? Who does this? The only thing that's authentically Fox, which is not Sonic, is this. And that's giving Sonic a gun. Let's talk about Shadow now, right? Look what they give him a gun. And he clicks that baby. Blah 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 blah. Violently. What is this? The shine. The shine. This is what Sonic does in Sonic 3. He does a shine. It doesn't work. And they made this the best. This is the product of Nintendo. To destroy Falco in Super Smash Bros. Because he's the fastest, one of the fastest in the game. They didn't want to make him the fastest. That's why they gave it to Captain Falcon. All his moves. See his front spin? Front spin. The shine. His speed. And then his upper. His up B. What is his up B? Supersonic. It's supersonic. That's what his up B is. It's supersonic. Now let's go to Falco.
Training mode. Go, Falco.
Now here's Sonic. Sonic is far slower. Right? He runs like Sonic. He's way slower. He's blue. Look at his hair. Look at his eyes. His whole eyes, his two red eyes really are the shape of Sonic's in different ways, right? If his whole red eye was his full eye of Sonic, he has a beak, obviously. It's Falco. We know it's Falco. But you see how they nerfed Falco in the sense that he's Sonic? Compared to I highly doubt Nintendo knew Falco was going to be this good. Because they made Falco a clone, which was Sonic, compared to Fox, who is Tails. And Fox is their character, aka Star Fox, who is a pilot, who is also a mechanic, like, who drives planes like Fox, like Tails. Tails, he pilots a plane. Who else is a pilot? That's Fox. And you see the difference? Same moveset. He jumps high, which Sonic doesn't. Sonic does not jump high. So they made him jump high and be really slow. And have a horrible recovery. Horrible recovery. Because this Supersonic ain't Supersonic. Fox is Supersonic. Fox is already yellow as Supersonic. So I wanted to make that clear. I want to make that clear that Sonic is in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but he is Fox. And so the next game, they realized when the game became so competitive and people couldn't play the game because they made Fox so good, aka Sonic, that they had to make Brawl, and the first person they put in the game is Sonic. And look at Sonic's moves in comparison to Fox's, right? They had to nerf Fox to not be like Sonic in Brawl. They had to make you trip when running, and they gave Sonic, you know, basically like no moves except to spin, just to spin. Tails and Sonic are in Super Smash Bros. And guess what? They're the mascots of Melee. I highly doubt Nintendo wanted that. That the Spaceys, right, were Sonic and Tails originally, mocking them like Dan in Street Fighter, and they made and they are the mascots of the game. And so think about that. How are you going to make Fox be the best character of the game and then be pissed off that the game is so popular and so competitive, when the originality of the game, the original concept of the game is competitive? The whole premise of the game is competitive. The whole conception of the game is to compete with all the other fighting games at the time. Okay, just to make that clear. I don't think people don't talk about this. Double jumps or Marvel vs. Capcom. Fighting in the air is Marvel vs. Capcom. Juggling and combos. Everything ground is Street Fighter. The wave dash is Street Fighter straight up. This is Street Fighter right here. Okay, Street Fighter. And then the Tekken is this shit. All this stuff. This shit. Roll is Tekken. This is all Tekken shit. And so that's my PSA. I wanted to let you guys know that this is straight up. This is Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails in front of your face. This is Melee. No one's ever talked about this, but break it down. I bet you could find facts. This is a small video, PSA. Just wanted to let that shit clear. I know this is Rocket League channel, but hey, bro, I used to play Melee. I know Melee. Melee might pop up. Spider-Me's here, bro. I hope you like the video. And I'm just keeping it real.